All right.
Hello and a good evening to you all. Welcome to Reflections for a Thirsty Soul. And tonight we're doing straight talk. Amajo, good evening. How are you? Are you there?
Very
How
well,
are you?
thank you, ma'am. How are you too? I'm right
I'm good.
here.
I'm good.
Good, thank you. Can you hear me?
Just life going on, and October is almost gone. So today we are here to talk about
Yeah.
where is it at? Be unapologetically you. But at this time, I think what I'll do is I'll share to some groups as well so people can join us. So whatever that means to you, be yourself, be unapologetically you. So I'll leave Amajo to chat with you while I just throw these in here quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, she had to go. Just give me a few seconds. I'm just sharing to some pages. I trust you all had a good day, a great day. As I said, the year is just going along so fast. We're almost into the month of November already. But yes, we thank God for how far He has brought us. It's only by His mercy that we have come this far. So, Amajo, over to you. I'm still sharing. I think I have two more groups.
I personally can't wait for this 2020 to be over.
You keep saying that.
I have had enough of it, and I'm sure others out there too have done the same. I'm very, very way over it. It should just go
For
fast.
sure. But you know, in everything, like for me, I'm like, okay, there's good and there's bad, right? So it seems bad, but hey, you are here, you're alive, it's all good, right?
No, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
It's still really quite bad,
So,
especially when we still heard. I was on the phone hearing how some people are still coming back to a second lockdown, a second major
oh yes,
lockdown.
yes, yes.
So meaning people are still hurrying up to order food, stuff like that,
Start the hoarding.
all over again.
You know,
Meaning
people are
it's
not too
still.
happy
I myself is not too happy.
because I'm saying in Italy there were some riots and that people are getting you know, but the thing about it is, oh, hello, message, welcome, welcome, thanks for joining us.
Hello,
The
Miss
thing about
Nina.
it is, you know, your safety is also important, right? So, I
Yeah.
mean, these are free countries, countries where freedom of speech, freedom of movement, everything is highly prized. And then
Right.
to have your freedoms limited, but I don't know. Anyway, it's a big discussion and it's tempers are, you know, flaring right now. So what do you do? So anyway, yes, we are here. This is Reflections for a Thirsty Soul again, I said. And the book is Reflections for a Thirsty Soul. You can find it on Amazon, Freezing Press, Barnes and Nobles, and Google Books. And we do straight talk here. We also do Pearly Nuggets. Tomorrow evening, I'll be here to talk, do a little clip on Pearly Nuggets. And Sundays, right now, we do a woman's heart. Real talk. It's based on my second book, Beauty of a Woman's Heart. And next Saturday, which will be November the 8th, I think, we'll have a book chat in the morning. So today, Amajo and I are going to talk about being yourself. So when we say be yourself, what do we mean? What does it mean to you, or what comes to mind?
Be honest to yourself.
What do you mean honest?
Accept accept yourself.
Accept yourself. But how
Or be
many people?
truthful to yourself.
So is it
If
easy?
it's not easy, but admit, if you are timid, admit it. I am
Mm-hmm,
timid. And
mm-hmm,
if you admit that, I don't know how to get over it, then
mm-hmm,
that fire should burn you for you to come out. That is
mm-hmm,
admitting or being open. If you don't feel too beautiful enough, or if you don't feel too love enough, admit it and said, okay,
mm-hmm.
so what can I do to come out of it?
But
So you
Amajo,
have
are we good at admitting things?
no, we are not.
So if you're not good at it, then where do you start from? How do you
that is why
start?
we, that is why we are sitting here talking about it. Try find a way to
Oh,
admit it, that how why am I not loved,
so
and find
you
a
are an
mess.
expert?
I'm not an expert. Yeah, for sure
Okay.
I'm not an expert. I am just like others. But if
Mm-hmm,
I'm bold enough to be talking or to be doing your book review with you, meaning I'm trying to be a step ahead of
mm-hmm,
who I used to be before,
mm-hmm,
because I'm sure before then I'll just don't look at them and say, oh, okay. I listen a lot.
mm-hmm.
I think
A listener,
my credit on my job is me being a listener.
a good
I
listener.
create a yeah, I create a conversation. I do teach little ones that are speech delay to talk. So
Mm-hmm,
meaning I'm a type that put words in your mouth and then I'll be
mm-hmm.
quiet and make sure you are
You're
listening
talking.
to me. This is my skills. I do like talking, but I have a limit of who I talk to and what I want to say.
Mm-hmm,
That was who I was before.
mm-hmm.
For how I made it this far to even now putting words in children's mouth for them to talk. Where by the end of the day they are talking and now I'm running away from them. Hey, leave me alone enough. Miss A want to rest.
Well, you've
I
taught
don't
them to
know
talk.
exactly. So it's it's something that I have to learn, and
Mm-hmm,
I will put myself there again. If you become so mean because um something has been said to you and you didn't like it, or you
mm-hmm,
accepted that this is who you are, and then you kept yourself there, then by the end of the day it's stake with you, so you have to come out of it. So when I try to come out of it, this is what I'm doing now, because I don't
mm-hmm,
want other children to feel like they talk
mm-hmm,
and then somebody that they didn't it doesn't sound well to them. A lot of skills are by my profession. If the children think I said something and it didn't sound well to them, they won't say it again. Then
mm-hmm.
they are quiet. Or they say it and they find out that it was a little funny to you. Once they feel like it's wrong, they won't say it again as well. 1 second, mom.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we are talking about being yourself. To me, when I see the phrase "be yourself," it just means that you live your life how you want to live it, regardless of the opinions of others. You come to a place where you you are solid. I mean, sure, you're a human being. Obvious, you may have one or two insecurities, but you are solid enough to know who you are and say, I'm going to, this is what I think of this matter. It doesn't matter what that crowd here says. I'm standing by my conviction. I believe in myself enough to be able to stand on my own and say, this is how I choose to live my life. But are we allowed to do that?
That was something we were not permitted, not even we were not allowed.
Uh-huh.
It's not permitted. There was no how do I put it? The, nothing was available for us to stand on it
Mm-hmm.
to be at that point.
Mm-hmm.
If we said we are not allowed, meaning somebody was saying don't do it too, which is also. But at the same time, what happened to those of us that feel like, oh, I'm afraid I won't say it for somebody
Mm-hmm.
to feel that I'm this, which most of us are,
But
right?
Amajo, this
Uh,
is what we say, that we have good values. So is
mhm.
this what the good values was teaching us? to be
Yes.
quiet and not
Well,
talk.
maybe to us that was the good values, because we find the quiet ones, the
Mm-hmm.
uncontributed ones. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
can't you be like her?
Mm,
We are people that want, we all want somebody to behave as somebody. We don't want to be who we are.
mm-hmm.
And we are talking about we being ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And some people may want to, oh, I really want to be like her.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to find your way of being you rather than
Mm-hmm.
being like her too, right? So
Yeah.
even if we want to copy, we don't copy it properly. If we really want to, for
Hello, Missy.
example,
Welcome. How are you? Long time, eh?
hi Missy. For example, let's say I also want to write a book, as Pastor P put it the last time.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be because you wrote a book, so I want to write a book. It should
Mm-hmm.
be I also have my own story, and I feel like if I write it, it will be good. In that
Yes.
way, I'm doing it my own way, not
Mm-hmm.
simply because you did it, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe, oh, you were able to do it for the, oh, Auntie I did it, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe I could. But it
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be I'm coming to copy you, but I am
Mm-hmm.
also doing which I feel like I can do, but using you as an example to do it,
Mm-hmm.
which is also another aspect. But
Okay.
we being ourselves, we just have to find who we are first. And finding who you are before you be yourself is what I put as be open, be I mean sincere to yourself. Admit it first that I don't feel like I'm very beautiful. Which way do I do it to? How would I accept myself to get into
Mm-hmm.
that group to feel that beautiful before?
Yeah,
Mhm,
that's
mhm,
right there. So
yeah.
what you were saying, right? I
Mhm,
was thinking when you made the comment that, oh, they look at you and say, why can't you be like her?
mhm.
So it's almost like we are not encouraged
To
to
be
be
us.
different. And I'll
Mhm,
tell you a story. As I was thinking this thought through, I said to myself, look at us. Like I come from a family of 5 girls.
mhm,
Okay. At the time, I mean, to me, it didn't matter to me, but looking at it now, it was cute. But when it's
mhm.
Christmas time, you go buy the same material and you all sew the same style. There's,
Yeah.
you all sew the same style. So it's almost like you are conditioned to be like, oh, here. So
Mhm.
even since then, when I see people like that right now, I'm like, oh wow, I just smile or I laugh because I think
Yeah.
I like to watch these HGTV, the home shows, House Hunters, all this, that, right? And so I
Mhm,
think I forget which show it was, but there was a couple and they had 2 sons. And I remember them having an accent. I can't remember if they were Australian or whatever. And the sons were dressed the same shirt. I'm like, oh, people still do that? So
yeah.
this is one of
We,
the ways I'm looking at it, that you are not encouraged to be different, and we are so one of the aspects of our good values, or our so-called good values, is that we are given some certain rules that we have to live by or conform to. So everybody has to be scripted that way, and then
uh,
if you go this way,
Auntie,
or not the
do you see our uniform, our check that we use on high school? My school, we were asked
Bunny.
to, ours was supposed to be all goddess.
Yes.
I sold my flag. I don't want all white goddess.
Oh, I'm sure you got into trouble for that.
Well, we also, just as you said, you are 5 girls
Mhm,
and the same material and the same
mhm.
style. Do you know, definitely some of you will say, me, I don't want this style, I want mine different. Was
Yes,
that not it?
yes,
But you will
yes.
say it, but it wouldn't be
They won't
taken.
they won't
Mhm.
they won't even listen to you. They'll label you, say, oh yeah, Kolaboni, even for speaking up. You see,
Exactly.
and
Hmm.
we thought like some of us, maybe little did we know that would end up in other places, in other
Exactly.
cultures where individuality is a symbol, or you not even forget about the other cultures, but you are in
Hmm.
a system that have to know how to speak up for yourself.
Hmm.
And here you are, you've been groomed to be like everybody else. You can't speak up. So it almost seems like we've all been, generally speaking, I'm not saying it, but broadly, it seems like we've been tarred with the same brush. So we are
Right.
timid. If you've noticed, we as a people, Africans,
Yes.
Ghanaians, black, we
Yes.
are very timid. We're not used
Very.
to speaking up.
Very.
So if
and
somebody is
and we
speaking
don't
up,
we also don't know how to hide ours. Everything seems to be so surprised to us, and once they see us that, oh, he's just so timid, they pride on that. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
oh, that we are so proud that we are timid.
No, they pride on it, that, oh, I've noticed he's timid, so they play on you like that.
Oh yes, yes,
Because for most of us that do not know how to hide the timidity, we show it too much, and
yeah.
then others will pride on it because you've already
Yeah,
given yourself out
yeah.
that
You've given
this
your
is who
power
you
away,
are.
and
Yeah.
yeah, you don't. And then
And
to some of us, even like that behavior that we do, we don't know, because we are afraid. We seem, we are groomed with so much respect for authority that we take it
yes,
everywhere. And
yeah.
then when you're supposed to speak up, you don't speak up. So even there's something in the system that you could benefit from, but you are too afraid to go ask the question. You don't even know
Mm-hmm.
that you are not even brave enough or confident enough to be able to manipulate yourself in the system, maneuver in the
Yeah.
system, right? So and the thing about it is that, like I was saying, that you have to respect yourself and not worry about what others think. But our people are too much like that. We worry so much about what people think.
People will, yes, yes. Until,
We
yeah, that would be something that would take a little while to wipe out. That for what others would say, up to date, it's all over, it's all written over us, that we are watching back. What is it go, how do you know, would I be accepted? We have, it's it just that point is just there. And see, yeah, that one, I can guarantee that that will take a while to wipe away.
No,
I
but
know.
really, no. Look, Sheila. As I sit here with you,
Mhm.
okay, and tomorrow you go out,
Mhm.
you step outside, and you meet somebody. It could be a
Mhm.
Ghanaian, it could be another whoever.
Mhm.
Excuse me, and they say something about your hair, that
Mhm.
oh, they don't like your hair. So are you going to
That.
come home? Are you going to come home and say, oh, that person, oh, they hurt my feelings. Why did they, oh, what is wrong with my hair? I go, yes. So it's not
I,
everybody. I
I
was
think I
giving
have.
that
I think.
example today that
Uh-huh.
you can say whatever you want about me. At the end of the
Mhm.
day, do I care? I don't care.
Yeah, because all
That's
I
your
hear is.
opinion. I have mine.
Mhm.
You
Well,
need to respect.
you have to be yourself,
Yeah,
not to care.
yeah.
You have to be yourself, not to care about. You own up to whatever you think you have done to your hair. Like me, who can change my hair from yellow to blue within a second, where where people are asking, what I thought do you do? I just love colors. And my I just have to create up something for my hair.
Mhm,
This is what
mhm.
I do. This is me. A lot of people, children at the school, find it so funny and lovable. They are all over me and touching the, hey, Miss A, this is good or whatsoever. I take pride in that. So that is why I do
Well,
it.
but
I know.
us coming from, let me tell you this story. Coming from such a conservative background, lo
Mm-hmm,
and behold, I was so shocked. Last December, I was home
mm-hmm,
for Christmas. I went with my oldest daughter, and a lot of my classmates from uni were getting their children were getting married. I think there were about 5 weddings or so. Well, we ended up going to 2. So at one of
okay.
them, this one of the guys, his son was getting married, and so we go and I'm looking at this older lady, and she's an usher, and she's in some kind of, I don't want to say tie and dye blue, but it's more bluish, purplish dress. And then her hair has the purpley bluish highlights. And I'm looking and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, am I in the right place? Is this Ghana? Like, she couldn't be bothered, but I think now
Yes.
it's gotten there, and some are still also conservative. But if it was before, they'll say, hey, no, no crown so even still in the years before when I went, and you want to do your hair or you pick a brown color, like most times when you ask people when they are going home and you tell them to buy you hair, they just bring dark black. They don't
Yes.
find any other, like
No.
we are
Yeah.
so, like there's nothing different. We're just
Yes.
all like we're cloned to be, think or be the same way, but we don't acknowledge that, we don't acknowledge individuality, that we are all separate people. My thumbprint is different from yours. And do you get what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
Nobody's thumbprint is the same as anybody else. And yet
Exactly.
we want to
Well,
everybody
which
to
is
fit the
something we
same
didn't know.
mold.
Which is something we didn't know. I'm sure if we come to our areas, a lot of people will not know that that our thumbprint is way different and it's never the same, which
Hmm.
I'm sure is something. So that I will put as very much lack of knowledge. And we not being ourselves or saying,
Hmm.
she did it, why did she do it, let's talk about it or whatsoever. And it's simply because we can't be bold enough to own it to ourselves to do the same thing. And instead
Hmm.
of us to encourage or say something nice about it, we see the negative or say the negative
Hmm.
aspect of it. Yeah. So we just have to know who we are first before we can be ourselves. We have
Hmm.
to admit it. Where are
Yeah.
we? Who are
Hmm.
we before we can be ourselves?
But do you think that, I mean, like I say, you don't live according to societal expectations, but we
Yeah.
tend to do, there's rules, right? And
Yeah.
some of them may even be invisible, but they are there, just like
Yeah.
solid barriers.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fight against it. So you have to toe, and it stops people from being themselves because, oh, well, I'm in a bad marriage or I'm being abused or whatever is going on. But if I if I s- if I leave the marriage, then it's going to be a problem, or people are going to talk, or it will bring shame to my family, or like these regulations that we live by. What do you say to those? Like it stops us from being ourselves. Like you can't express yourself.
I think the world is actually going fast enough. Around us, we have been permitted with technology, as you and I sitting
Mm-hmm.
here talking about it. So I
Mm-hmm.
pray that people are listening and they are also doing their own self research to know that,
Mm-hmm.
oh, it's no more as it was before. It's
Mm-hmm.
a lot is no more like as it used to be before.
Mm-hmm.
I think if all of us will admit it that the world is changing and it's changing as fast as it is, and the way things used to be have drastically changed.
Mm-hmm.
And those of us that are hanging on to, oh, man, to Sanet to say, so we should still stick at where we are. No, they are the people that are pulling us not to be ourselves.
Yeah.
They are just the pull me down ones. Yeah,
See
just
this.
I'm sitting in the mud, so it should be. We have to embrace change. It's
Mm-hmm.
part of us. If there is no change, then there wouldn't be what do I say, improvement of growing.
Mm-hmm.
The change must come. We were crawling, we got up, and then we walk. So in
Mm-hmm.
every aspect of our life comes with a change. if
So
if it was rule that we should be quiet back then, that was somebody's rule. Let's try and
mm-hmm.
make our own rules now to say it's no more like as it is before.
Mm-hmm.
The timidity was somebody who just came and said, oh yeah, Coladia, if you're a child, then shut it up. That was somebody's idea somewhere, and then
Yeah.
they all hung up into
It's
it. But
little
then
children
it's
should be
no
seen
more.
and not heard.
Yes.
You
Uh-huh.
know.
Which affected us. I don't even know who came up with the idea that if you're a young girl and you're in school, you should be cutting your head,
I
just as they
know.
did to all of us.
I know because I remember one time my grandma, like she would look at and say, "Oh, so what are you going to do with your hair?"
Mm-hmm.
Because every time,
Mm-hmm.
cut your hair, cut your hair. Like what was I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
Yeah. Your
Yeah.
hair grew up and all a certain hairstyle for everybody. Well, I would say some of us were bold enough not to do the same hairstyle. My hair always have a cream in it. The teachers will come and put something in it. Don't put any cream. I'll go home and I come back with the same thing. I was a little stubborn too.
Hmm.
You see, yes, that was how hard. But I know it was somebody sat there and make that rule, and that was how we stayed there. But then we have to change it now because the person is no more, and we also here now.
Mm-hmm.
right? We have to do what is happening around us now instead of sticking to the old one that we know. Maybe if we think about
But
it
do you know
this
what they'll
way,
tell you?
no,
They'll tell you anytime you try to change the status quo, then they tell you that, oh, you've been carried away by these modern
yes,
stuff and you've forgotten your values.
it's true, but then no matter what, the modern is what is taking us now. No matter how we see that we have forgotten, it's not a lot is not happening anymore. Gone are the days they said if you sing at the washroom you would die or your mother would die or something. And
That's
today,
superstition.
and today we have come to realize that it's not as they said it to be. It was all saying that maybe if the soap enter your mouth, you might probably get sick. So it would be
Hmm.
better you
You
keep quiet.
don't see.
It's just that
But
the way the
then just say
proverbs and
that.
the words that came out of it were just too
Yeah,
scary and all that. Huh?
yeah.
So we should find a way of making it a little more good that will suit us rather than just hanging on to the old style.
So then I'm going to ask this question. So why is it that people are afraid to be themselves? Like there are a lot of people walking around and they are being fake. They can't be their real self. They have this fear, so they want to please people, or for whatever reason they
Mm.
can't be themselves. You can't trust them to give you a concise or any good answer on any issue, or like they don't know how to be themselves, let alone stand up for anything.
They still don't know who they are yet. Oh, Auntie, yeah.
Hmm.
They still don't know who they are yet. They are not accepting it to be no, I am me. Why should you come and tell me what to do before I do it yet?
Hmm.
That's what I'm saying. We are still hanging on to the old fashioned style too much.
Hmm.
We should loosen up a little bit and just tell whosoever that is coming to say, okay, this is how it was, and it should be like that. For example, oh, you don't know how I suffered with your father. Yours is even small. Go back and suffer there.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I
No.
was going to go there, because this issue of, like, you're a woman and you
Mhm.
are raised the way we were raised. So they think every woman should be quiet, every woman should be timid. Oh, be
Yes.
calm. Don't. So if you are somebody who speaks your mind, or oh, then they label you,
Oh.
or you are out there. But you have to fight this battle just to be yourself. You have to
Mm.
fight, because people don't like the truth. People
Mhm.
don't like anything that is different from what they know, because we haven't expanded our capacity to handle the
That was the
truth, like I
norm,
said.
Auntie. Yeah. That was the norm. That was what we know before. And if
Even
and
now, it's still
change,
there. Even
yeah,
now.
yeah, but you see, um, change, it's not that easy as well.
Hmm.
Change is not coming that easy for a whole lot of people too, if I will put it that way. To
Hmm.
embrace and change, learn something different, and do it another way from what you know also come with its challenges. It's
Hmm.
like you know that, oh, when I go to the grocery shop I used to take the bus, and then you finally get a car.
Yep.
Who
There you
you
have
are.
it, Missy.
You and what, yeah. You find then you finally got a car. And you realize that wow, having a car now is not just that easy, but you have to pay insurance and you have to be
You have to
maintaining
buy
your car.
gas.
So you so that come, and if car is not taking that you speed, you get a ticket. You get it? So it's a whole lot that comes with a change as well.
Hmm.
So that is that, maybe that is still the fear in us that maybe if you embrace this change, it might not be as we do it, and also, so I will also put a fear in there that is also part of the fear. We are just so much afraid to be ourselves, to accept that this is how it is, and if you accept it to be who you are, change will definitely come. Maybe it's the fear, the change that comes of it is also part of the problem. If I can put it that way.
Missy, is that what you're asking? Yeah. So how do you be yourself? What do you do?
Admit who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Admit if you are quiet, admit that I am quiet and I don't want to be.
But what if,
If you
listen,
if you allow,
Amaju,
mhm,
even if you are quiet and that's
mhm,
how you want to be, that is also your prerogative because people dump on people who are quiet. And if you're
good,
allowed to, they dump on you. So that tells you just be you.
good. But being quiet that I use as an example doesn't mean simply because it changed to be somebody else. But
Mm-hmm.
if that is what suits you and if that is what works best for you,
Mm-hmm.
then you have to be yourself on that way.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean you have to go copy somebody and be with the person. But we all know that if there is something on us that
Mm-hmm.
we don't like, then we just have to find a way. Like, for example, those days, if there was anything that I would have used to cover my freckles,
Mm-hmm.
I would have done
Mhm. Let me
it. You
cut in
see?
here. Okay, I get what Missy was trying to ask. I think she was
Mhm,
asking me what question did I ask. I said, how do you how do you go about being yourself?
mhm.
So yeah, like you don't try to
Yeah,
please people,
exactly.
right?
So you see, because I didn't, I also didn't like it because nobody see the beauty of it, or that this is what my face is and it should be like that. I wish I would have covered it. I only thank God not all the makeups that are good for me because I would have tried to hide it as much as
Mhm.
possible. But when I decided to be, it's with me and there is nothing I could do about it. So I started embracing it, and people can even look at it and say, wow, I love your freckles. It became me. I admitted it, and it's me, and I'm not bothered about it anymore.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, like me, I was told I was too tall. Like every time, people, oh, you go, okay, wow, why is that a problem for people,
Yes.
right? And so it makes you feel awkward. Luckily, I didn't go about bending or bowing, bending
Like
myself,
the way I
right?
did was
And I,
hiding
I
my
told
neck.
you the story about. I told you the story about that guy who was going circling me and so you are too tall. And then I'm going years later, I'm like, oh, he liked me, he didn't know how to go about it, so he was feeling intimidated. So then I come here and I realize, oh, being tall is not a bad thing. Like, you know people don't make you feel bad about yourself
Mm-hmm.
because you're like, I didn't make myself. So how do
Mm-hmm.
you go tell somebody they are too short or they are
Mm.
too tall? And if you don't know any better, you'll put
Yeah.
yourself down. So
Yes.
you
Yes.
have to learn about yourself and accept
Mm-hmm.
yourself, right?
Yes.
And then don't worry too much about what people think or
Yeah.
say. So long as you're not harming anybody, I think that you need to be very strong in your
In
mind
your
or in your
yes.
convictions, in your spirit, in
Mm-hmm.
what you feel and think about yourself.
Right. Right.
So even me, like, those of us who even feel that we've worked on ourselves, kakra or whatever, when you are
Mm-hmm.
not feeling good inside, you know it.
Yes. For
So I
sure.
wonder how people, but then again, before I say what I'm going to say, I'll say, so that is why hurt people hurt people. You wonder why a human being can walk around and deep inside them, they know that they have this pain in them. Something inside them is bothering them,
Yeah.
and yet
Then
they
they
are not willing
inflict.
to sit down, peel the layers, and get to the bottom of what their issue is so they
Yeah.
don't spew out on other people. So,
We I joined the ladies' smart choice talk last time, and I was saying we don't we are people that do not really go under the root of our problems and find
mhm,
a solution to them.
mhm.
We just cut the edges of it and then just let it there, and then the rest that
Mhm,
we cut it, so we left the rest there and it's there harming hunting us,
mhm,
harming us, and we think we are okay, which we are not.
mhm.
As Ajua other one would say,
Self
self
care.
self-care, emotional intelligence, and all those
Mhm,
that you talk about. I'm very sure people a lot of people don't even know exactly what it is about finding yourself, self-care or self-emotional intelligence. And we've been here
Ama Joe,
trying to
they'll tell you so mum from my bro for sending free hawk and so and
exactly,
also need the
exactly, yes,
mm-hmm.
yes. And it's simply because they are refusing.
They are
They
refusing, and then
refuse.
you even having the audacity, the boldness to get up and do that crown point, they have to put it down because it's too scary. They
Mm-hmm.
can't go there. They don't want to go there. Right.
Exactly.
So
Mm-hmm.
let's read Mrs. comment. For me, I do
Mm-hmm.
not allow people to push
Push
me to
me.
the point where I have to be something else or different from who I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
I confront anyone who I think offend me and I leave it
Mm-hmm.
there, and it's up to them to decide what to do. Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Miss Macy, that was because you know yourself. You have
yes.
embraced yourself. So you were not going to take anything that would not
Mm-hmm.
work for you.
Yes.
For those that would take anything, everything being said makes a
Mm-hmm.
big deal out of them. And they
Mm-hmm.
would take, even if you don't mean it that way, they would take it out of context.
Mm-hmm.
I am still saying if I've been abused, for example, there was a statement that if you are being maltreated, you grow up and then you become a better person. I said that person became a better person. Hello, I can't hear you anymore. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah. Okay, good. I was that person is the same became a better person for through his career or whatever path he chose. But the pain inflicted on that person is still in the person. He hasn't seek self counseling or anything to do away with the pain that was inflicted on him. So
Mm-hmm.
you see that person being better or whatsoever, but still it's bitter. A lot of our people are bitter. There is
Mm-hmm.
bitterness in a lot of us. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of us as African, especially we Ghanaians. If we can sit there and call each other names the way we don't, without thinking who they are,
Mm-hmm.
we are bitter. That bitterness is within us. We haven't
Mm-hmm.
do no self healing, no self check, no self evaluation or anything, and then we swap it out of the carpet, and now
Mm-hmm.
we are okay, and we all have to talk. So that is why we can just say things and do things without thinking
Mm-hmm.
who is being hurt in the process, or
Mm-hmm.
who is being whatsoever at the end of it.
You
So
know
so
why?
mhm
There's this gentleman on Facebook, Mr. James Addison. Like
mhm
he does a lot of. He's an emotional intelligence expert, and he's
mhm
doing a lot of work in that area. And so you
mhm
see, either he's on doing programs or he's on the radio, and I look at him and every time like, well, now I'm not on Facebook so much, but I used to always go and comment on
mhm
his thing, what he was doing, because I just love the idea. And I'm
mhm.
thinking, if we had that while we were growing up, somebody
Mhm.
recognizing that
Oh
something like
yes.
this is needed. Because when we take emotion, we say emotional intelligence, it's about
Mhm
how you handle your emotions in your
mhm
deal. You are dealing with people. And
yeah.
if you don't know how to deal with people, then
Mhm
what? Look, I'll give you an example. When we were coming back from Ghana in December at the airport, so
mhm
my brother-in-law and my younger sister were dropping us off, and there was these three people trying to wheel the carts, the
mhm
trolleys, and it was so long, and I think it was splitting apart. So the one guy who was pushing, he was so angry, and
yeah.
just the way, and so I'm watching them and I'm saying, oh my gosh, like this is something that if it didn't stop, it could lead to somebody would get mad and hit somebody, or do you get me, like because
Mhm.
we don't know how to handle our emotions, how to handle our anger.
No, that's
Even
yeah.
here in this society in which we are, you hear
Mhm
things like, oh, there was a party and something happened, somebody got stabbed. How did we get to that point?
yes. You see,
So we
yes.
don't deal with our
No,
emotions, or we don't
no.
control ourselves,
I
and we've
I
allowed
had a
people to label us and put us in a place that this is what is we
no.
are
we
supposed to
we
be.
are type. We don't really completely let go because we didn't do the self healing and self check. We don't completely let go. This is a
Nyachum.
conversation. Yeah, thank you. This is a conversation I had with my sister-in-law. We were sitting there, and then she said something, and then I laughed. And then she was, "You have three kinds of way of laughing. You at times you sound sarcastic, at times you just do ha 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 ha. You don't even mean it. And I was, yeah. How did you get to know that? Because I'm getting to know you, so I want to laugh over it now. Then she said something. She said her mother did something, and then she started talking. So I was okay. Let it out. Like I always do with people. I will see
Mm-hmm.
you, and if you are very emotional and I think something, I will just go ahead. Okay, let me hear it. Say it, just say it out. It's from the training, not because I'm perfect. It's the training
Mm-hmm.
I got from my profession. So
Mm-hmm.
I was okay, say it all out. And like her joke, he started pouring. And then he
Mm-hmm.
talked. And then a little bit time, she cried. And as much as she was crying, I see pain all over her. That's all I see. So I allowed her to cry, cry, cry until I was okay. Now it's enough.
Mm-hmm.
So by the end of the all that I said, oh, you see, you lied to yourself that you have forgotten your mother. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lie. You
Mm-hmm.
haven't.
Mm-hmm.
You are still in pain. Go to her. Like the way you are telling me now, tell her. It's been 20 years, and look at how you are crying over there. And you are telling me you've forgotten her, you've forgiven her. It's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
You are lying. You see, she just cut it on top that okay, media check.
But
Into a shiny mo ya.
I know, but you know,
Mhm.
Amajo, sometimes I'm just throwing, I'm not saying in her situation because I don't know what it is. The
Yeah.
culture in which we've been raised, some of
Mhm.
these grown-ups, when you want to talk about some of these things with them, they don't want
Mhm.
to talk. They want to shut you
Atia,
down.
I will encourage. Say it anyway. You get your healing.
Hmm.
Whether you are being shut down or never, say it anyway. Say, hey, mommy, you will listen to me.
Hmm.
Let me pour it out.
No.
Education have taught me that.
Hmm.
Say it anyway, whether you are being heard or
Look,
not.
they are
Let
not
your
the
pain
people given to
heal,
truth.
free yourself. Yes, but you free yourself so that you stop lying to yourself that media chance to still on yeah. Yeah, we are in pain. We haven't forgiven you, but we lie to the media child, but the pain is still there.
Hmm.
We should free ourselves first. We should be ourselves by letting the truth face the person. Let it out with the person. It's a talk. Talk it over. See how the person will take it or will not take it. And now then do that healing for yourself. And stop saying mediache and be crying. To me, I saw pain. I was, all this that you said, I have seen pain written all over you. It's
Mm-hmm.
been 20 years. You think you have let go, but you haven't let go. It's still here. The pain is right here with you. Until you are bored enough to let it out, you will still be hurting. You are the one hurting. And she doesn't know what she has done and you being hurt until you say it to her. For
Hmm.
her to know whether they apologize to you or not, you have to let it out. We should deep inside and bring it out. Let it out. If we say okay, on
Some
tear
of the
into
I
me
hear
car.
all that you are saying, but what I'm trying to
Uh-huh.
say is that you have to
Mhm.
acknowledge that we have a
Mhm.
lot of dysfunction in our
Mhm.
system, just like anywhere else. So
Too
we
much.
don't like to
Everybody is
acknowledge
hurting.
things. Sometimes if you
Yes.
don't even create the environment for you to even want to, you
Mhm.
won't even get that environment to bring it out because they'll be
The
avoiding you.
Yeah, but okay, we were little. What she was saying to me, how come the situation happened was when she got married to somebody the mother didn't like at that point in time, and so the treatment given to her wasn't pleasant at that time, and some details that came out of it. But since you have you, now you are on your own now that you think you
Mhm.
can talk it out.
Yeah,
I'm urging all the listeners here that will get a chance to watch this
yeah.
video to take it from me that education have taught me to that to that point that until you bring it out,
Hmm.
the pain is still in you, and that doesn't make you heal. You
Well,
have to let it out to be healed. You have to talk
let's put it
about it
this way,
to be healed.
Amaju, that there are some who don't want to do that healing anyway.
So
They don't want to do it.
you will also inflict that person on that pain on someone without
Hmm.
knowing that you also did it because it's in
Hmm.
you. It's easy for you to do it to somebody else. It's so easy. I couldn't call a radio station who I saw a lady crying so bitterly because she felt a friend did something bad to her and then she was weeping. So they have to be asking her to stop. And I wish I'm just there to just push her to cry it out and say your pain out and
Or
be
was
free
it
out
those
of
two
it.
ladies in Ghana?
Yes, I don't know them,
You know
but
what? Just to
mhm,
sidetrack here, like I'm just saying to myself, we see a
mhm,
lot of these situations coming out, the women against
mhm,
women fighting
mhm,
drama. Like,
mhm.
what is going on?
Well, it's well, is it not as it is? Do we love ourselves that much to love others? This is what I'm saying. If we really want to go through that journey, then we have to find the root of the problem and uproot it. We can't just say it's okay and move on. It's okay. It's easy to say. Within you, is it really okay with you? Do you mean you're okay?
Mm-hmm.
Until yeah, we can be ourselves by doing our self healing, checking
Yeah.
ourselves to see if we
Mm-hmm.
are okay with this. Because if something is bothering me, I have to find a way to sort it out. Then I'll
But
be
Joe, we
free.
don't have those we don't have those skills, or I don't know what to call it. Because
Yes.
listen, people, let me tell you something. People, we see some of us in our society too, we are a
Mm-hmm.
certain way, right? Some of us, they are givers and there's takers, and there are some people they feel so entitled, they'll treat you badly, and they don't even want to apologize for what they've done, and
Yeah,
they think
because
you
they
owe
don't
them.
know. They
They think you
they
owe
they are
them.
they are no, auntie, yeah, they are superior. They think they are. They have conquered that
Hmm.
superiority. So they
Missy, I'm with you.
I think our relationship and friendship has to be.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, but then, Auntie Yao, those people
Hmm.
that are superior, we those that are afraid of them, who have accepted what they have done to us, have put ourselves to that level. So
Hmm.
we have made it up there. If we can
Hmm.
be bold enough, thank you, sis. If we can be very much bold enough to tell them that no, what you did, I know you are
Hmm.
superior, that I didn't like it. And
Hmm.
this was what it did to me. This is how I feel. Then they
Hmm.
will also think of, oh, somebody was bold enough to tell me. It has to start from somewhere. My ex-husband was also very much bitter about the father because of something one way or the other.
Hmm.
I was, you know what? I'm just coming from school. In this book, they said be bold enough to share whatever it is. Call your father. If you can't be bold enough to talk to your father, then who else would you be bold enough to say answer this to? So go
Hmm.
call your father and put that thing there. Until yeah, my ex complained about this issue as I'm talking about for about 2 weeks until I said, you know what, go let it out. And he managed to let it out. I never heard that complaint again.
Hmm.
And I'm so proud that I pushed it and then he did it.
Hmm.
There's a lot in healing if we have to find a solution. Talk to
Hmm.
the person. We are so much afraid. We have accepted openi di penny into yentimi nkasa kyerɛ penny until said penny
Ama,
mehu said
Ama
dia
Joe,
woyɛ ne nyɛ no.
Ama Joe, and Pennyphone no bi wɔ hɔ a ɔmo yɛ nhyɛsoɔ. They don't listen.
Yes,
Look, they are very old school. They are, let me tell you, they are very, very old
I
school.
know, Auntie.
And they
Yeah.
think they know, mean this is how I manage it. Like I have my own way of thinking, my values. You are not going to change me to be you. So what I do is that I put boundaries. That's all.
Yeah, Auntie, yeah. If you put the boundaries and there is a pain in you and you didn't take it off, you are still hurting. Before you put
Well,
that boundaries, know where you stand with them
yeah.
before. Allow them to know where they stand. I have
Oh, you
come
could
to a
have
point.
told them. You could have told them forever
Yes.
and ever, but they don't
Mm-hmm.
listen. They don't accept it. You cut it off and you do your
Yeah.
thing.
I bet that most of them that do what they do because we're not bold enough to stand up to them to let them know that this is what it is because
Hmm.
we feel like we were afraid of them when we were there. But that was why they kept doing it.
Hmm.
Once we step on their foot to say, "Hey, enough! You have done enough."
Hmm.
You see the demeanor in them. I have worked around with a few people of mine that I finally had in contact with. They were, oh wow, they accept it. They accept they
Mhm.
yeah their mom for too much into omu Auntie Yum
Mm.
Mecca, Auntie Yum Baby Nimo, ya aunties, ya mammy num, ya nanam, omu Nimo, oh, you're bored enough now, catch your ma, me
Mhm.
see o mobeti, omuti, or
Mm.
biara penny be wo if your fees was rona.
Mm.
Anybody you think that you
And
are
yes,
afraid of?
no. Look, Amajo, the outcome, you know, we hear it all,
Mm-hmm,
but there's different circumstances and there's exceptions. Obu
mm-hmm.
owa can it then ya own tie. Onim so the oya ni nyan so own
Oh,
tie. You don't waste your
yeah.
time, you live your life.
Yeah.
I know
But
what I'm
then
talking
if
about.
if it's not gonna hurt you, then fine. But if it will
Mm.
hurt you, then let it out and set yourself free.
No,
Be
you
yourself.
my boundaries.
Overcome that pain.
Yeah, my boundaries. They say if you did it to me, you are not going to do it to my kids. So I protect
And
my
yeah.
kids. Mhm.
Well, which is also good.
Yeah,
But
I
we
mean, like,
have given
hey.
that authority to our elders enough. We have given not even maybe our elders, maybe somebody that feel like he's the superior of you, so he can be bold
Mm.
enough to do whatever it is with you that you don't like. Stand
Mm.
on your ground and tell
Yeah.
the person where you stand with what he has done to you,
Mhm.
so you can
Mhm.
be healed. So you don't carry that pain with you and do it to somebody else,
Mhm.
because what is being inflicting you, what you know is what you also give out there.
You also go give it to somebody. Yeah.
Exactly. So we have copied the bad ones, and we have, this is why we see all this pain in us. Until you just said it. What, it's like women against women. Why is
Mhm.
that so? What do we
Like,
know? It's all about
like
women. It's women who will
it's.
stand up and say, share their mignon quiet, share their wire. Why? It's all we have inflicted in on each other, and that is how it's
Mhm.
going until
Mhm.
we take that pain out, until we solve it out and
Mhm.
stop doing it, then others will also not do it. So it will not continue.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you have to you have to learn. I was saying that learn more about yourself, who you are,
Yes.
appreciate yourself, be
Mm-hmm.
confident of who you are. Look,
Yes.
you are a human being. You are not perfect. You know your strengths and you know your shortcomings. If you accept them, nobody will use them against you. Then you have to also forgive yourself and don't be negative about yourself. And you need to also accept yourself. Why though? Missy, I don't, what did I say that you said why though? I don't understand. Or like accepting yourself? Missy, please clarify. I was saying a lot of things, so I'm not sure what your question, which point your question is in relation to. Yeah, but it all starts with you, the individual. You have to be healthy. You have to be healthy. It's like I'm a joker. It's like you decide what you accept and what you don't accept because it is you who's going to teach people how to treat you. So if you are not putting if you are not putting value on yourself, then nobody is going to. Mhm. Oh, okay. Why is it always women to women? Oh,
Yes.
Missy, ask
That is
again. Oh,
all we know.
ask
Missy, is that
again.
is all we know. It's
Mm,
it's about women attacking women. That was what we know, and that is what we keep doing to each other until we
mm-hmm,
stop. Until we stop and watch other. I'm doing this to my fellow woman, and she will do it
mm-hmm,
to another woman, and it will
mm-hmm,
continue. Then it will not stop. So
mm-hmm.
we have to accept it that what you are doing to each other is not good. Why did
Yeah.
you have a conversation about me? Or let's be bold enough to ask, why did you do that for us to have our differences instead of hanging on to
But
it? You know?
you know something interesting? If it's those same two people that I'm thinking you're talking about,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
thought a few weeks earlier, it wasn't long ago that I saw them chatting on TV or on radio and talking and laughing with each other. And then I
Mhm.
turn around, I didn't listen, I haven't listened to the whole story. I turn around, I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, now they are fighting. So,
Yeah.
what is it? This part of knowing who you are, it
They
includes
just
knowing who you
yes.
have around
Yes.
you. You pick
Yes.
the right kinds of
Mhm.
friends.
Mhm.
I don't know, right? I don't know
Yeah,
enough of the story, but this is what is
yeah,
hitting me. 2 weeks ago, you were laughing and smiling. Now it's crying. What happened?
yeah. We are not sincere enough. I am still
Mm,
saying it. We are not sincere enough to ourselves. We are not
mm-hmm,
admitting ourselves enough for us to be bold enough and stand on our truth
mm-hmm.
to say, why would you do this and why would you do that? We don't
Amajo, that's
do
why
it.
some of us don't have don't have friends. Yeah? The story that I
Exactly.
told of my of my girlfriend, say
Mhm,
because of Obermant, like she, I
mhm.
chastised her about a decision that was
Yes.
say a
Mhm,
life threatening
mhm.
unit, she cut me out.
Yeah.
Now, afraid there be me call me desk. Say you will fee until I went to my desk. I said, or the card a better one. Then we are talking about something about the friendship that we shared, and I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, friend, we shared. So you want me to call you after that? I go, look here. You picked Oberima. You picked a man over me. We're
over
done.
over the years that we have spent
Yes,
together.
I
It's
said
something
we.
similar to these two ladies which made the other
I'm a
one
Joe,
cried.
Black American Becca, we is done. We are done. Like I said,
Yeah.
no, I'm not. Like my son said to me, oh, mom, maybe she wants you to reach out. I don't do passive aggressive, Nehemiah. If you want to talk to me direct. Don't use. I haven't asked any questions, and I'm not. I'm okay. It's okay.
Well, whenever she's ready to talk or ready to hear your side,
No,
maybe
no,
you will
no,
be
no.
all you
There's
will be
no,
bored.
there's no, there's no side ready to hear. She made her decision. Or picky or Bema.
Hmm.
Or picky or
Well, but
Bema. So,
hmm
or picky
people
or
God
Bema.
is
So that's it
because I'm
right there.
very
Like,
picky
so if
when it
we're
comes to
only a
choosing.
buyer that the person takes a man over you, that should tell you a lot. So, yeah,
Miss Miss Amwako, I think we have something in common here.
yeah, I
I
have,
chose
yeah,
my friends. They don't
yeah,
choose me.
yeah.
You're not gonna choose me. So my
Oh,
circle is very
we-
little.
yeah, oh, yeah. We've said a lot. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's all basically about knowing who you are,
Yeah.
acknowledging yourself, dealing with yourself, trying
Mhm,
to figure things out. The things that are not working,
mhm,
you try to work on them. If you're feeling any pain, you know yourself. So at some point in time when things are not going right, like we should be a people who take stock occasionally. Oh, am I okay? Is everything well? Yes. Thank you. Missy, I'll give you an example of
hundred
this,
percent.
right? When you are in another woman's presence and that woman is secure, they are secure in themselves. You feel yourself sitting in their presence, even when you are not talking, you just feel calm.
Yes.
I've been in situations where I've gone for coffee with people or whatever, and then one lady is flapping and flipping and doing all kinds of things. And this person is sitting right across from me. You're going, what is making them like that?
Oh, so
It's a put on.
uncomfortable.
Look at it. It's a put on. They are being, and I'm thinking, I am not putting myself down, but I didn't know I was so whatever that you have to come and sit and be doing that.
Hmm.
So you watch some of these things, like a woman, if you're in the presence of a woman who tries to always put you down or do these things, or you know that there's an issue. But
Yeah.
why should it be like that? Why should it be like that? Why can't I just be and you be? We have a long way to go.
We
Mhm.
do. We do.
But it all starts from working on yourself.
One of my friends will say, "We don't even have the way yet. We just must start."
We always we always talk
Yeah.
about these things, but we never learn about we never learn.
Yeah. We don't have the way yet. If we have a way, then we will be on the line to go, right? But
Yeah,
we are
yeah,
somersaulted. We don't have the way yet.
yeah,
We are not even standing on the lane. We are messed up.
yeah. No, we're just here trying to encourage people, especially for the younger ones coming in.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to
Our
go through,
generation will be
yeah, you
better.
don't need to go through or face some of the hard things that we have had to go through.
Yeah.
And for me right now, if I sit here and I say that my circle is small, I don't say it with apology. I'm not sad. It is
No.
what it is.
Yeah.
Because I've seen enough disappointment, I've seen enough hatred, enough of women who don't know who they are, that they think they need to come and put you down to make themselves feel better because they do not take the time to do their own work.
Mm-hmm.
We're all on a journey.
Yes.
I watch. Oh,
And listen.
I want to listen to you all because of the positive vibe and feeling I can get from you, lady. Oh, thank
Thank
you, Missy.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We get a good vibe from you too. Thanks.
Yes.
We're
Your
all about
contributions and your
yes,
commentaries makes a
yes.
lot.
We're all about learning from one another and growing.
Yes.
For me, like I've found my stories that I found that I always try to be positive or encouraging to people around me, and yet all that they want to do is just pull me down. So after a while, I told myself, it's not worth the hassle. Just drop it. Let it go.
I, this is something I always say to myself. Discouraging doesn't exist in my dictionary. If it is, I deleted it long time ago. I don't know how to discourage people, and I don't know how to pull people down. If I ever did it, then maybe that was when I didn't know. But at this point in time, and as I'm going, discouraging is not something
Hmm.
I think of. I
Hmm.
see the bright and the positive side of everything. Unless it's wrong, then I can say, oh, this one I think is wrong. But for me to just, because there was a point, all that I see around, especially around among our people, was all about negativity. Oh, that was all I see. It, 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 it's like, I, when I got my driving, or when I decided to drive, I took the CD. Today I think you can just, I don't know how it's done today, but I think some years back you have to go to they have to be sure you've been to the driving school, and you have
Hmm.
in Quebec to get a driving license in Quebec is the
Hmm.
very hardest thing ever.
Hmm.
And if you get your license from Quebec, then you
Hmm.
should know that
Hmm.
you are a good driver. Because they don't give it easy. It doesn't come easy at all. And I
Hmm.
remember when I said I'm going to drive, I have to think about how I'll pay for driving school, have the
Hmm.
knowledge and all that. And then I got a CD from the library. So that was what I would put in, and then be playing it and be studying the instructions and everything. A friend came to my house and was, "What are you even busy doing?" And I'm learning how to drive. Ah, oh bad abe now person will drive. Oh. You see? Me bad abe.
But what is driving? So how long have this person been in the system for that they hadn't?
Oh no, what's not harder than my ben any na say you into me bad abe na me pet driving. Ah,
Were
who
they
can who
driving?
she went ahead. Yeah, then she was driving. But that was what she told me.
Yes, life is too short to waste on negativity.
Yes, for sure, my sister. For sure. She just went ahead and said, Uber had, and insurance is so expensive. Bus pass for the train, metro and the train is just a few dollars, and that is why you want to. Don't even try. She was bold enough to tell me I shouldn't even try. So I just had laugh over it. Before she would see me, I was already driving. She was, I know quite gay, pa. So you see, it doesn't work with me.
Amaju, I saw a post on Web Talk today, and I think it says when people say you can't do it, do it twice and take a picture or something. I laughed my head off.
I posted it. I copied it from somebody's page.
Ah,
Yeah.
anyway, so
So
your winding, your closing comments.
I would say before you can be yourself, you have to do your own self research to know who you are. If you really accept and know who you are, it will be easy for you to be good towards others. So we should do our soul research and know, find out who exactly we are. Where do we stand in ourselves? This is where the emotional intelligence and whatsoever comes in. Let's try and do that. Let's try to do us, believe in us, and believing in you have to take you to learn who you are.
Mhm.
And until we accept it, we should try and let things go. And before we will let things go, we should know the reason why we are letting it go, so we will be done with. We shouldn't just say, oh, I let it go, and keep the pain in us and be inflicting it on others. That is not helping, and that is why there is pain everywhere. A lot of people are bitter.
Yeah,
Let's try to do away with the bitterness. It will be another way forward.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, well, we've said a lot today. We were talking about be unapologetically, you be yourself. It takes time to sit down and find out who you are and where you want to go in life. Yes. So you have to own yourself, own your stuff, spend time, analyzing yourself. Yes, if I may
Yeah.
say so, who are you? What do you want out of life? Are you happy where you are at?
Yeah.
What are the dynamics that you're dealing with? Are you being bullied in your relationships? Have you given over your power to others, or do you stand by? Are you a strong person who can stand on their own? If they have to be alone, they can stand alone. And, not to say you're an island, but there's times that you have to go it alone just for your own mental health and wellness and sanity too.
Yeah.
So, like there's a lot going on right now, too many dynamics, unhealthy living. We don't want that. We want people to own their stuff. Look at what is wrong, look at it and peel it away. Work on yourself, live a healthy life. You only live once and you better be happy doing it. So with that, thank you, Amajo. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Miss
ma'am, for having me.
Miss Sage, for joining us, and whoever else comes after. We trust that you take something out of what we've said tonight. So, God willing, we'll be back next week with another topic. So, we'll say bye for now. Bless you.
Bye.